How's it going? Welcome to my channel. Here I wanted to talk about something that's kind of blowing up right now, and it's about Andrew Tate. And just to let you guys know, I don't listen to Andrew Tate. I don't watch Andrew Tate. I remember I had a comment on my recent video that said, "Oh, you watch too much Andrew Tate." I actually don't listen to Andrew Tate at all. If anything, the only man podcast or talk show that I listen to is Fresh and Fit occasionally. But I actually didn't know much about Andrew Tate till this came out, and I saw him trending a lot. I kept getting a lot of funny TikToks of people making fun of him and whatnot.
I didn't even decide, I realized yesterday that I can actually, genuinely, right now, nothing is stopping me from becoming Batman.
I thought it was funny, because at the end of the day, Andrew Tate is a influencer. He is a content creator, like he is funny sometimes. He does funny things. He may say things out of pocket. But the reason why I'm making this video, because I know you guys are like, okay, if you don't care about Andrew Tate, why are you making this video that's technically defending him? It's because, like, we saw this in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. Men are being accused of things that never happened, or at least there's no proof of. It used to be you're innocent till proven guilty, but now you're guilty till proven innocent. And it's ridiculous how people in modern day have switched the whole narrative of that. And a woman can accuse you of something that never happened, no proof whatsoever. If it's posted on the media, everyone is going to turn their backs on you. They're going to think that you did, what you're accused of. But if a man accuses a woman of doing something, no one bats an eye. Like, we see these videos online a lot where a guy will be recording his girlfriend attacking him because, let's say, she got caught cheating and she's flipping the whole script and she's mad at him. You see in these videos, I've seen a lot of these videos on TikTok. The girl is hitting him, putting her hands on him, and he's like, stop touching me, I'm recording, blah blah. And she's blabbing blah, 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 like in the background. And it's such a big thing because if it was the other way around, people will be going crazy berserks. How dare you touch a woman, blah blah. Cops will be called. They'll be sending his picture everywhere from the video, reporting it, trying to get this man arrested. But then you see these pictures of these women who are attacking these guys, and you see people in the comment section saying, "Oh, imagine if the roles were reversed." Pretty much, we live in a world now where women have more rights than men. I can't think of one right that a man has that a woman doesn't. The women have moral rights. You guys have a higher advantage in the justice system. Where this pretty much draws to is there's this account Instagram is from this kid named Matt14 in Roman numeral, or Matt XIV. He has 1.2 million followers, and his bio, queer Jew with very long nails. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm not really a fan of this whole generation, this whole pronoun LGBT crap, but we could get into that in another video. But yeah, so already judging from his profile, we're gonna have fun. And he's verified too, so it's gonna be amazing. So he made a post about Andrew Tate. And this post, it garnished a lot of views, a lot of attention, a lot of impressions, and it has 1.4, currently me recording this, it has 1.4 million likes. So let's get right into it. Andrew Tate is an influencer and former kickboxer whose violently misogynist, homophobic videos have propelled him to global fame among young men and boys. He said that women are men's property and that rape victims should bear some responsibility for their attacks. Last month, he has been Googled more than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian combined. But anyways, okay, so now here we have a video. In this widely circulated video, Tate, who is 35, explains that he prefers to date 18-year-olds because they have been through less, than women in their 20s. He also says that it's easier to make an imprint on younger girls. This is also known as grooming. Yeah, so before I start the video, men do want, it doesn't matter if a guy is 45 or 35, whatever, men do prefer younger women because, yes, it's easier to groom them. Not the grooming that you guys think, okay? And I'm only 20, okay? So imagine being 45, you get with a 35-year-old woman who is a businesswoman, she's a boss babe, whatever, she's a boss woman. It's not easy to get through her head. She has masculine traits because she makes a lot of money, she has a serious business, so she is going to operate a lot differently than a woman who was 19, 21, who is fresh out of high school or barely in college, who hasn't been through a lot of relationships, who haven't had a lot of experience, and who wants to be coached. And then of course a grown man can then be introduced to her life and culture, and it's a lot easier to coach younger women than it is to coach an older woman, because they know their standards, they know what they want. But as for young women, doesn't. It's not supposed to be a whole creepy thing. I think that it should just be explained better, because of course when you think grooming, it's like, oh my god, he's trying to make her a sex slave. That's not it at all. But okay, so let's get to this video.
The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can fucking put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
Okay, so that's pretty much what I explained. It's easier to groom and it's easier to coach a younger woman because she hasn't had much experience. It's not like a whole creepy thing like, oh, old men want young women so they could groom her to be a sex slave. It's not that at all. It's just that they're much easier to deal with, to handle. Older women who have been with a lot of men, who probably has a business, make a lot of money, they have masculine traits that men don't want to have to deal with. So, you know, it's just like that. It's a preference thing. Like, women can have their preference, 6 feet tall, 7 figures a year, and who's handsome and brilliant, whatever. But once men have their preferences, the whole internet, all the feminists starts going crazy and knocking it down. So it's ridiculous. Yes, the way that Andrew did say it, I will admit, when I first saw the video, I was like, okay, bro, you gotta chill. The way he said it was definitely, you know, weird. It was definitely off. But what I explained, that's pretty much what he is trying to say. He just said it the Andrew Tate way, I guess. Much of his content is laughably ridiculous. Like this video, where he says he knows CPR but wouldn't perform it on a man because that would be gay. Okay, you guys need to understand, Andrew Tate's he's a funny guy, okay? He's an influencer, he's a content creator, you know. He makes jokes. He has an interesting personality. And this video kind of shows that. If he's being serious, then okay, whatever. That's his personal view. There are some men who won't perform CPR on a guy because they think it's gay. I'm not saying I'm that man, because, you know, I kind of think it's stupid to not perform CPR on a man who really needs it because you think it's gay. Like, you're saving someone's life. So yeah, this is also out of pocket. Again, letting you guys know, I'm not a fan of Andrew Tate, but I'm going to defend him because I know the shit that he's getting accused of is ridiculous. And he's a human being. He's very successful. He done his part in the world. And there's a lot of cool things he's done. And I know I'm dragging on for the video, but there's lots of cool things that he's done that no one is talking about. He stated in videos before, because I had to do a lot of research on this guy. He's not a bad person. He says things out of pocket. Like, I'm not going to be a little white knight and say, oh no, what he said is acceptable. He said some out of pocket things, but he's human. I feel like the only reason why he's getting attacked is because he's rich, he's handsome, he's successful, and that gives him power. Because as we know, money gives you power. And he has that. And people like you got these feminists and these far left-wing activists wanting to tear him down, making videos about him, making posts about him. Because he's successful and he doesn't care what anyone thinks. And he's going to speak his mind. And I feel like this generation is so soft because people want to compress their opinions and feelings instead of just letting it out like how it used to be. Like, you could say whatever the hell you wanted, you know, back in the day, and no one cares because, you know, that's how it should work. Like, why compress your feelings? Freedom of speech, yes, there are consequences, but there shouldn't be consequences for you saying an offensive joke. Satire isn't illegal. Satire isn't bad. It's not that person's fault that you can't take a damn joke. So anyways, back to the video.
Who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him. No. Why? Because I ain't gay. Who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him! No.
Underneath the atrocity of Andrew Tate are the darker, more insidious consequences of the influence he has on young boys. Andrew Tate is not just another edgy misogynist on the internet. He also is one in real life. He's been under investigation for sex trafficking and rape in Romania, where he lives. In other videos, he explains that 40% of his reason for moving to Romania was because Romanian police were less likely to pursue sexual assault allegations than police in the United States. Alright, in this clip, Andrew Tate is talking about how his sister will be property to her man. And that's not to say that women are objects or they're a product of men. It's that when it comes to marriage, traditionally, when you're proposing to a woman, you're talking to her father to give permission for him to surrender his daughter to you, which then his daughter is now your responsibility. You need to take care of her. You need to treat her and take the role that the father had for the daughter. So what he's saying is that the daughter, the girl, is now your responsibility, and not as in property, but she's your responsibility. You gotta take care of her, and you know, especially when you're married, you guys are signing an agreement that you guys are bounded together. So he's not trying to say, oh, she's an object, I can use her, I can, you know, blah blah, etc. I think this is something that the media and feminists are throwing away out of proportion, that he's trying to say that women are less and they're just property. That's not the case at all. He's just saying from a traditional standpoint is that when you're with the woman, you're committed to a woman, you ask the father, hey, may I have your blessing to marry your daughter, which then he surrenders her to the man. In that sense, the woman belongs to a man. A woman is now under the responsibility, under the care of the man. And that's really all it is. It's not a whole sexist thing, which the truth is the world is sexist and that's just how things are. We're not equal. Men have their responsibilities and women have their responsibilities. Men have their title and women have their title. We're not the same, and of course you see it with feminists. Feminism is supposed to represent equality, but then of course the radical left have shifted the meaning, and now it's mostly for women to have masculinity over men. When there's a situation like you notice when something sexist happens that benefit women or feminists or whatever, or the LGBTQ whatever, you notice that when something benefits them, they do not complain. It's only becomes sexist when it doesn't benefit them. When a man like Andrew Tate is talking about traditional things, talking about things that women are supposed to do, or you know, just normal things that women are supposed to do, it's sexist. Oh, you should clean, you should cook for your man. That's apparently sexist now, which it is sexist, but it's now a bad thing. But then when a woman says, oh, I want a man who's 6 feet tall, handsome, make 7 figures a year, that's not sexist because it's traditional. It's the right thing. A woman should want a 6 feet tall, handsome man who makes 7 million a year. You know, that's right. But then when a man says that he wants a woman to clean, cook, and make sure the house is nice and tidy and it's a good environment when he comes home from a 8 to 12 hour shift, it's sexist. It's bad. So I kind of went off the field with this one, but yeah. So pretty much Andrew Tate is just saying that when you're bound in a relationship, the woman belongs to the man as far as responsibility. The man is responsible for the woman, responsible for her action. How a woman acts in a relationship or acts in public and her man is not around, that reflects on the man and how he is handling his woman. So if you're married to a woman and she is out doing crazy shit that she shouldn't be doing, hot girl summer shit, exploiting her body, talking inappropriately, that is a reflection of her man. It shows that her man doesn't have control, that her man lacks the ability to coach his woman, the ability to keep her checked. And you see that a lot with modern day men, which is why women are so superior to men now, because a lot of men don't understand their worth, they don't understand how to be a man, how to take control, and how to leverage the power that man normally is supposed to have. And we see this decreasing as time goes by. But again, off topic. Next slide.
Do you think that women are property?
So I think my sister is her husband's property. I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything which is really, truly even controversial. The whole world agreed that the woman belongs to the man when she decides to give herself to a man.
Alright, so in this caption he says, here he explains to his audience, compromised largely of boys as young as 13, how to handle a girl. And he's saying slap, slap, choke, choke. Now, this video was actually thrown out of proportion badly. I actually saw the full clip. So what Andrew was actually explaining in this video, and I had to make this very, very clear. I'm not a supporter of Andrew. I don't watch Andrew. I just start seeing shit on TikTok. But I'm not going to sit here and see all these accusations and believe it, because we live in a world where you see something on the media, it's immediately true. Any accusation comes out, especially on a man, is immediately true. Like I said in the beginning, there used to be a time where you're innocent till proven guilty, but now you're guilty till proven innocent. And that's something that the left wing has flipped. You're automatically guilty once something's posted, and you got to prove your innocence. But doesn't matter how how many times you try to prove it, people already have painted you as the bad guy, so you can't really get out of that. They'll do everything to cancel you, to get you off the internet, for you to lose your job, your leverage. Pretty much what he was saying in the video, which I watched the full video. He was just talking to his audience on his bed, and what he was talking about was how women cannot defend themselves when it comes to a man. Men are obviously way stronger than women. It doesn't matter if you take karate, jiu-jitsu, whatever, it doesn't matter. A man is going to be stronger than a woman. If you're a woman and you train, a guy will still have the strength. Because something you also got to keep in mind, there are women who, they fight, they train, they, karate. But once it comes to a point when a man is actually there and a woman has to be face to face with a man who actually wants to mess her up, all of that training is going to exit her mind, out her left ear. They're all gone. The adrenaline kicks in, she starts getting worried, all the training are gone. And that's something you see happen a lot with women who do have training, or who even has a gun. They hesitate. All the training, all the knowledge they took in their self-defense classes leaves, which is why a lot of men who actually give a shit about women, we encourage women. If a man is violent, if a man wants to hurt you, run. Don't argue, don't kick him in the balls, run. If you're cornered, like let's say you go on a date with a guy and he tries to make a move on you, a move that you don't necessarily like he starts touching you inappropriately, and you're trapped in this car, you're in the back seat, which by the way, you shouldn't have been in the back seat in the first place, especially if you didn't want to have sex or anything like that. A man will bring you to the back seat if he wants to have sex. That's how it is. But fuck him up. If he tries anything on you, fuck him up. You have a reason to do that, which is why you should always carry pepper spray. Do not fight a man. You're gonna lose. It doesn't matter how much training you did. It doesn't matter if you go to a gym. A man is naturally much stronger than a woman. If you go to the gym, he goes to the gym, you guys are not going to have equal strength. He's going to be stronger than you significantly still. And again, you're likely smaller. And sometimes they say smaller people have an advantage. It's not necessarily true, only in some cases. But if you're face to face with a man, don't fight him with your fist. Don't use your freaking mouth. Run. If you have a gun and you need to use it, then use it. If you have a knife, you need to use it. Use it. Pepper spray, use it. Don't get physical. Don't hit a man, because you're gonna lose. Once he has his hands wrapped around your throat, you're done. And that's pretty much what Andrew Tate was saying. He will defend a woman, like when he goes out with a woman, he will defend a woman as a man should. We have women around nowadays saying, oh, I can beat a man's ass. Oh, I could fight a man. Oh, man ain't shit. Like literally just saying this nonsense, which isn't true. You can't. You just don't have the strength. And I'm saying this to protect you, whether you're offended by it. It's just the truth. And that's what he was explaining. All you gotta Google is Andrew Tate slap, and you'll find a video, full video, and you'll find out that he's not telling young 13-year-old audience to choke women and slap them. Like, this is what they do. With all these men podcasts, they want to say, oh, it's misogyny, oh, they're misogynistic, they're trashing down on women, oh, they're violent towards women. And these clips you see, it's a 5-minute clip, 2-minute clip, 1-minute clip, and they're leaving out the rest of the 1 hour, 2 hour actual footage. Like, they're only putting 2% of the video, and they're leaving 98% out of the video. So this guy is clearly trying to destroy a man's reputation, and he's not even doing research. He got this video right off of TikTok. He didn't actually look and find the actual video to see that he's not talking about beating women, okay? If that was the case, he would have been canceled a long time ago. And there's a lot of clips where he's actually talking about caring for women, protecting women, because, whether you like it or not, women needs to be protected. You guys think you guys are strong, you guys can fight these men, you simply can't. So that's pretty much why I'm going out with this. Alright, so he says videos of Andrew Tate has been viewed 11.6 billion times on TikTok alone. Many of them violated community guidelines but haven't been taken down. Why? Because views generate profit for TikTok. So they will continue pushing these videos onto the feeds of young men regardless of the real world consequences that online misogyny can have. Well, that's not true, because a lot of accounts that have been posting these videos and a lot of men podcasts have made TikTok videos and they've been taken down immediately. Maybe you've came across a couple videos from Andrew Tate, but most videos get taken down because the media is afraid of the truth. They're afraid of opinions, even if it's not the truth. They're afraid of opinions. opinions, and it's ridiculous. And TikTok is actually a very far left app. It's very far left. So that's why a lot of these videos talking about women get taken down. But videos of women talking about men, and like I was saying in the beginning, these videos taken by men getting attacked by their ex-girlfriend are still on TikTok because TikTok is far left and it's sexist. But it is what it is. We know what happens when violent internet misogyny goes unchecked. We saw it with Hunter Moore, who publicized revenge porn in 2012. We see it with incels, which have been churning out mass shooters at an alarming rate. We don't need a documentary in 10 years about the rise and fall of Andrew Tate and how we should have known better. We do know better. Okay, so he posted another post, and it was about a lot of the hate messages that he's got from a lot of Andrew Tate fanboys or what.
Bruh. Gay. Stop being a gay piece of shit, you fucking fat. Be like Tate. Be manly, you fucking. I'll boom you. Word to my dad, when I see you, I'ma up it. Bruh. Eat up, Frank, boy. Word to my mother, if I catch you on sight, I'ma up it. Bruh. We couldn't even get bitches into it straight. That's why you had to go gay, so you had to be fucking friends with bitches. Fucking fat.
Alright, so clearly, yeah, that was very immature. Probably a joke, but of course you shouldn't be sending that to anyone on the internet because that's a threat. Yeah, the thing is that I will put on this video is that there's a lot of 13-year-old boys, a lot of little kids who are looking at these videos and misinterpreting what Andrew Tate is saying. Just like, these feminists. You guys are all misinterpreting Andrew Tate and all these other men podcasts like Fresh and Fit. We're not saying go attack women. We're not saying cancel women. We're not saying treat women like an object. We're just saying that what they're saying, and me as well, because I talk about men things as well, is that women are no longer traditional women. If you want to find a traditional woman, you got to go to South Africa. You got to go to Asia. You got to go to even Colombia. You got to go to Europe to find a traditional woman, because Western women have changed significantly. So it's very, very different. So it's harder to connect with women nowadays in the West, and it's very sad to see that because men are still traditional. I'll admit, men nowadays are weak as hell. They lack masculinity, they lack responsibility, accountability, and they're not dominant. They don't know their stand as a man. A lot of these men nowadays are very weak, and it's very depressing to see that. And I understand why women play these guys, because it's easy to fool them. They're not bright, which is why, again, we have these podcasts, we have Andrew Tate to educate these men on what men are supposed to be. But the thing is, women are no longer traditional, but again, they want a traditional man, 6 feet tall, 7 figures a year, very handsome, charming, blah, blah. It's unrealistic to have such high expectations for a man when you're not going to deliver the same results, but flipped. You're not going to be a traditional woman. You're not going to stay home, clean, provide a nice, healthy household for him when he gets home from his 8 to 12 hour shift, making money, providing for the family, So again, that's why these podcasts are here. They're not here to bash on women. We're not doing that. There may be some, but it's not all of them. It's not the top ones. If you actually listen, I know a lot of these podcasts like Fresh and Fit, they're mostly like 3 hours long. If you actually listen to these podcasts, you will understand. It starts very wholesomely. Introduce the girls on the panel, it's all relaxing, it's positive. But when men question women's delusion, it turns into chaos. And that's what I see with these podcasts. Sometimes women will say outrageous things, and when the host, Myron from Fresh and Fit, will question it and he will challenge their delusion, they get very mad and trigger, and then it turns into these clips that you see on TikTok. The videos don't start like that. It starts very wholesomely. They're very respectful to these women. The women just tend to disrespect the men because they're using facts over feelings and over opinions. And that's just the way life is now. You can't use facts anymore. People don't care about statistics anymore. They care about their feeling. You can't be your authentic self nowadays, because of the media and how things have shifted. Andrew Tate's blowing up, very rich, handsome, successful man, and people are mad about it. And the reason why this video was made, the reason why I'm mad is because, and I said this multiple times, is that men are easily accused of things now, and it can ruin a man's reputation. We get falsely accused for so many things. Like, a woman could be hitting a man, and a woman calls a cop, and the man gets arrested, but she was the one hitting him. He didn't lay a finger on her. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't seem to understand anymore, and it is just, it's so unfortunate that this is the route that we take. Like, it's to a point where a lot of men are afraid of getting in relationships in the West with Western women because they're very crazy. They act out a lot. It's crazy. We're seeing this right now with Andrew Tate because he's very successful. People want to bring him down because he has his opinions on things. They want to destroy his career. They want to accuse him of sex trafficking. No evidence whatsoever. They say it was getting investigated, but innocent until proven guilty. And actually, him and I think his brother did talk about it on the podcast, and they debunked it. If this was real, this would be all over the news. He will be in jail by now. If there was just a lick of evidence, he will be in jail by now. You'll be seeing this all over the internet. He wouldn't be driving his Bugatti around and flexing. You know, he'll be in jail, and that's what makes me upset. Because as a man, you know, I see this happening a lot, and it's really messed up. Because someone's doing good, they're being very successful, you want to cancel them because they said something that hurt your feelings. Like, that's really the world we live in now, where you can't express yourself. Like, a girl can be like, I don't want to deal with a fat fuck who smokes weed at his mom's house all day and doesn't have a job. And guys will be like, yeah, you shouldn't, you know, like, I will agree with that. You shouldn't want a man who is like that, who's lazy. But then when a guy says we don't want a girl who has an OnlyFans, who has over 10 bodies, 5 bodies, oh, you're sexist, oh, you're misogynistic, oh, you hate women. Really? Like, it sounds ridiculous when you flip it. Like, that's how women are more sexist than men. It's gotten to the point where women are super sexist towards men. And it's like we can't even defend ourselves anymore because we get thrown down. Like, me personally, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't have my face on my channel, but you could look at my Instagram. I'm not hiding. I just choose not to have face cam. I don't need to do all the editing. I don't need to do all the facial impressions and stuff. I don't care. I just like this style of editing more, and it's more fun to do. But my social media is up there. So I don't care what people think about me. I don't care if people are mad at what I say. I'm just saying the fucking truth. The thing is, people don't want the truth. We have to be politically correct now. Like, if a girl is fat and she should go to the gym, you can't say, hey, you're fat, you need to go to the gym. You gotta be like, yes, girl, love your curves. No, we have to be politically correct now. We have to say, love your curves. Oh yeah, body positivity. And it's stupid, but we could call a guy and say, oh, you're fat as fuck. You don't see men running around saying body positivity, love your curves. You know, the fat fucks in this world. But, you know, that's what it is. Anyways, I'm ended here, 40-minute mark. This is actually supposed to be short. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something there. If you guys agree with what I said, comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you agreed about. Let me know your opinion. Leave a like. If you disagree, I know YouTube disabled the dislike thing. You can't see the count, but, you know, dislike the video so I can at least see it, and comment down what you disagreed with. And thank you all so much for watching. Please take care and be safe.